Welcome to Kotler and Keller's Marketing Management Series, Chapter 17, Designing and Managing Integrated Marketing Channels. Let's get started. Learning objectives. What is a marketing channel system and value network? What work do marketing channels perform? How should channels be designed? What decisions do companies face in managing their channels? And how should companies integrate channels? What are the key channel issues in e-commerce? What are the key channel issues in m-commerce? And how should companies manage channel conflict? Most producers do not sell goods directly to the final users. Between them stands a set of intermediaries performing a variety of functions. These intermediaries constitute a marketing channel. Some intermediaries, such as wholesalers and retailers, are called merchants. Others, like brokers, manufacturers, representatives, and sales agents, search for the customer and may negotiate on the producer's behalf, but do not take title to the goods, and they are called agents. One of the chief roles of marketing channels is to convert potential buyers into profitable customers. Marketing channels must not just serve markets, they must also make them. In managing its intermediaries, the firm must decide how much effort to devote to push and to pull marketing. A push strategy uses the manufacturer's sales force, trade promotion money, or other means to sell the product to end users. In a pull strategy, the manufacturer uses advertising, promotion, and other forms of communication to persuade consumers to demand the product from intermediaries. Each channel can target a different segment of buyers, or different need states for one buyer to deliver the right products in the right places in the right way at the least cost. When this doesn't happen, channel conflict, excessive cost, or insufficient demand can result. Research has shown that multi-channel customers can be more valuable to marketers. Most companies today have adopted a multi-channel marketing schema. Companies are increasingly employing digital distribution strategies, selling directly online to customers or through e-merchants who have their own websites. In doing so, these companies are seeking to achieve omnichannel marketing. An integrated marketing channel system is one in which the strategies and tactics of selling through one channel reflect the strategies and tactics of selling through one or more channels. Figure 17.1 shows a simple grid to help make channel architecture decisions. It consists of major marketing channels, which are shown as rows, and the major channel tasks that have to be completed. Those are the columns. This multi-channel architecture optimizes coverage, customization, and control while minimizing cost and conflict. A value network includes a firm's suppliers and its suppliers' suppliers, immediate customers and their end customers. It also incorporates valued relationships with others, such as university researchers and government approval agencies. A supply chain view of a firm sees markets as destination points and amounts to a linear view. The company should first think about the target market and then design the supply chain backward from that point. This strategy is often called demand chain planning. The digital revolution is profoundly transforming distribution strategies. With customers, both individuals and businesses, becoming more comfortable buying online and the use of smartphones exploding, traditional brick-and-mortar channel strategies are being modified or even replaced. Customers want the advantages both of digital band of physical stores, highly personalized service, detailed physical examination of products, and an overall event and experience. A marketing channel performs the work of moving goods from producers to consumers. It overcomes the time, place, and possession gaps that separate goods and services from those who need or want them. Members of the marketing channel perform a number of key functions, as shown here in Table 17.1. Members of the marketing channel perform a number of key functions. Some of these functions constitute a forward flow of activity from the company to the customer. Others constitute a backward flow from customers to the company. Still others occur in both directions. 5 flows are illustrated here in figure 17.2 for the marketing of forklift trucks. If these flows were superimposed in one diagram, we would see the tremendous complexity of even simple marketing channels. The producer and the final customer are part of every channel. We will use a number of intermediary levels to designate the length of a channel. A zero-level channel consists of a manufacturer who sells directly to the final customer. The major examples include mail order, online selling, TV selling, and manufacturer-owned stores. A one-level channel contains one selling intermediary, such as a retailer. A two-level channel contains two intermediaries that are typically a wholesaler and a reseller, and a three-level channel contains all three. Channels normally describe a forward movement of products from source to user, but reverse flow channels are also important to reuse products or containers, to refurbish products for resale to recycle products, and to dispose of products and packaging. Many of the most successful new banks, insurance and travel companies, and stock brokerages have emerged with strictly or largely online. Figure 17.3a illustrates several consumer goods marketing channels of different lengths. Figure 17.3b shows channels commonly used in B2B marketing. An industrial goods manufacturer can use its sales force to sell directly to industrial customers, or it can sell to industrial distributors who sell to industrial customers. Or it can sell through manufacturers' representatives or its own sales branches directly to industrial customers or indirectly to industrial customers through industrial distributors. It's a lot of information there. 0, 1, and 2-level marketing channels are quite common. Consumers may choose the channels they prefer based on price, product assessment, and convenience, as well as their own shopping goals. Channel segmentation exists, and marketers must be aware that different consumers have different needs during the purchase process. Channels produce 5 service outputs. Number 1, desired lot size, the number of units the channel permits a typical customer to purchase on one occasion. Waiting and delivery time, the average time customers wait for the receipt of goods. Spatial convenience, the degree to which the marketing channel makes it easy for customers to purchase the product. Product variety, the assortment provided by the marketing channel. And service backup, add-on services like credit, delivery, installation, and repairs provided by the channel. The more service backup, the greater the benefit provided by the channel. Marketers should state their channel objectives in terms of the service output levels they want to provide and the associated cost and support levels. Channel objectives vary with product characteristics. Marketers must adapt their channel objectives to the larger environment. Each channel, from sales forces to agents, distributors, dealers, direct mail, telemarketing, and the internet, have unique strengths and weaknesses. Channel alternatives differ in 3 ways: the ways of intermediaries, the number needed, and the terms and responsibilities of each. 3 strategies based on the number of intermediaries are exclusive, selective, and intensive distribution. Exclusive distribution severely limits the number of intermediaries. Selective distribution relies on only some of the intermediaries willing to carry a product. Intensive distribution places the goods or services in as many outlets as possible. The main elements in the trade relations mix are price policies, conditions of sale, territorial rights, and specific services to be performed by each party. Price policy calls for the producer to establish a price list and schedule of discounts and allowances that intermediaries see as equitable and sufficient. Conditions of sale refers to payment terms and producer guarantees. Most producers grant cash discounts to distributors for early payment. Distributors' territorial rights define the distributor's territories and the terms under which the producer will enfranchise other distributors. And mutual services and responsibilities must be carefully spelled out, especially in franchised and exclusive agency channels. Economic criteria. Each channel alternative needs to be evaluated against economic, control, and adaptive criteria. Every channel member will produce a different level of sales and costs. Figure 17.4 shows how 6 different sales channels stack up in terms of the value added per sale and the cost per transaction. Control and adaptive criteria using a sales agency can pose a control problem. Agents may concentrate on the customers who buy the most, not necessarily those who buy the manufacturer's goods. To develop a channel, members must commit to each other for a specified period of time. Yet these commitments invariably reduce the producer's ability to respond to change and uncertainty. The next step is to estimate the costs of selling different volumes through each channel. The cost schedules are shown in Figure 17.5. Engaging a sales agency is less expensive, but costs rise faster because sales agents get larger commissions. The final step is comparing sales and costs. As Figure 17.5 shows, there is one sales level, SB, at which selling costs for the two channels are the same. After a company has chosen a channel system, it must select, train, motivate, and evaluate intermediaries for each channel. To customers, the channels are the company. To facilitate channel member selection, producers should determine what characteristics distinguish the better intermediaries, like the number of years they've been in business. Carefully implemented training, market research, and other capability building programs can motivate and improve intermediaries' performance. Producers must periodically evaluate intermediaries' performance against such standards as sales quota attainment, average inventory levels, customer delivery time, treatment of damaged and lost goods, and cooperation in promotional and training programs. No channel strategy remains effective over the whole product life cycle. In competitive markets with low entry barriers, the optimum channel structure will inevitably change over time. A producer must periodically review and modify its channel design and arrangements. International markets pose distinct challenges, including variations in customer shopping habits and the need to gain social acceptance or legitimacy, among others, but opportunities do exist. Producers vary greatly in their skill in managing distributors. Channel power is the ability to alter channel members' behavior so they take actions they would not have taken otherwise. Manufacturers can draw on the following types of power to elicit cooperation. Coercive power. A manufacturer threatens to withdraw a resource or terminate a relationship if intermediaries fail to cooperate. Reward power. The manufacturer offers intermediaries an extra benefit for performing special acts or functions. Legitimate power. The manufacturer requests a behavior that is warranted under the contract. Expert power. The manufacturer has special knowledge that intermediaries value. Once the intermediaries acquire this expertise, however, expert power weakens. And finally, referent power. The manufacturer is so highly respected that intermediaries are proud to be associated with it. More sophisticated companies try to forge a long-term partnership with distributors. To streamline the supply chain and cut costs, many manufacturers and retailers have adopted efficient consumer response, or ECR, practices to organize their relationships in 3 areas: demand-side management, supply-side management, or collaborative practices to optimize supply and enablers and integrators, or collaborative information technology and process improvement tools to support joint activities that reduce operational problems, allow greater standardization, and so on. A conventional marketing channel consists of an independent producer, wholesaler, and retailer. Each is a separate business seeking to maximize its own profits, even if this goal reduces profit for the system as a whole. A vertical marketing system, or VMS, by contrast, includes the producer, wholesaler, and retailer acting as a unified system. Another channel development is a horizontal marketing system in which two or more unrelated companies put together resources or programs to exploit an emerging marketing opportunity. A corporate VMS combines successive stages of production and distribution under single ownership. An administered VMS coordinates successive stages of production and distribution through the size and power of one of the members. Manufacturers of dominant brands can secure strong trade cooperation and support from resellers. A contractual VMS consists of independent firms at different levels of production and distribution, integrating their programs on a contractual basis to obtain more economies or sales impact than they can achieve on their own. Wholesaler-sponsored voluntary chains are wholesalers that organize voluntary chains of independent retailers to help standardize their selling practices. Retailer cooperatives are retailers that take the initiative and organize a new business entity to carry on wholesaling and possibly some production. Franchise organizations are where a channel member called a franchiser might link several successive stages in the production distribution process. And many independent retailers that haven't joined a VMS have developed specialty stores serving special market segments. The result is a polarization in retailing between large vertical marketing organizations and independent specialty stores, which creates a problem for manufacturers. We can distinguish between pure click companies, those that have launched a website without any previous experience as a firm, and brick and click companies, existing companies that have added an online site for information or e-commerce. By mid-2013, more than half of all online U.S. buyers had made a purchase on a mobile device, and m-commerce amounted to more than 11% of all e-commerce. In the United States, mobile marketing is becoming more prevalent and taking a number of different forms. Consumers are fundamentally changing the way they shop in stores, increasingly using a cell phone to text a friend or relative about a product while they're shopping. Marketers are using a number of new and traditional practices. Understanding how consumers want to use their smartphones is critical to understanding the role of advertising. Given the small screen and fleeting attention paid, fulfilling advertising's traditional role of informing and persuading is more challenging for m-commerce marketers. The idea of geofencing is to target customers with a mobile promotion when they are within a defined space, typically near or in a store. The local-based service requires just an app and GPS coordinates, but consumers have to opt in. The fact that a company can pinpoint a customer's or employee's location with GPS technology raises privacy issues. Like so many new technologies, such location-based services have potential for good and harm. It will ultimately warrant public scrutiny and regulation. No matter how well channels are designed and managed, there will be conflict, if only because the interests of independent business entities do not always coincide. Horizontal channel conflict occurs between channel members at the same level. Vertical channel conflict occurs between different levels of the channel. Multi-channel conflict exists when the manufacturer has established two or more channels that sell to the same market. It's likely to be especially intense when the members of one channel get a lower price based on larger volume purchases or work with a lower margin. Goal incompatibility. The manufacturer may want to achieve rapid market penetration through a low price policy. Dealers, in contrast, may prefer to work with high margins and pursue short-run profitability. Unclear roles and rights. HP may sell laptops to large accounts through its own sales force, but its licensed dealers may also be trying to sell to large accounts. Territory boundaries and credit for sales often cause conflict. Differences in perception. The manufacturer may be optimistic about the short-term economic outlook, and they may want their dealers to carry a higher inventory, while the dealers, they might be pessimistic. Intermediaries' dependence on the manufacturer. The fortunes of exclusive dealers, such as auto dealers, are affected by the manufacturer's product and pricing decisions. This often leads to a high potential for conflict. Table 17.2 lists some mechanisms for effective conflict management that we'll discuss next. Strategic justification. In some areas, a convincing strategic justification may serve distinctive segments but not compete as much as they might think and reduce potential for conflict among channel members. Dual compensation. Dual compensation pays existing channels for sales made through new channels. Superordinate goals. Channel members can come to an agreement on the fundamental or superordinate goal they are jointly seeking, whether it's to survive, the market share, high quality, or customer satisfaction. Employee exchange. A useful step is to exchange persons between two or more channel levels. Joint memberships. Similarly, marketers can encourage joint memberships in trade associations. Co-optation is an effort by one organization to win the support of the leaders of another by including them in advisory councils, boards of directors, and the like. Diplomacy, mediation, and arbitration. When conflict is chronic or acute, the parties may need to resort to stronger means. Diplomacy takes place when each side sends a person or a group to meet with its counterpart to resolve the conflict. And finally, legal recourse. If nothing else proves effective, a channel partner may choose to file a lawsuit. Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger both took a hit when they sold too many of their products to discount channels. Given the lengths to which they go to pamper customers in their stores, luxury brands have had to work hard to provide a high-quality digital experience. We saw earlier that in exclusive distribution, only certain outlets are allowed to carry a seller's products, and that requiring these dealers not to handle competitive products is called exclusive dealing. Exclusive arrangements are legal as long as they do not substantially lessen competition or tend to create a monopoly, and as long as both parties enter into them voluntarily. Producers of a strong brand sometimes sell it to dealers only if they will take some or all of the rest of the line. This practice is called full-line forcing. Such tying agreements are not necessarily illegal, but they do violate U.S. law if they tend to lessen competition substantially. Hey, thanks for watching. Please check out the other videos in this marketing management series. Thanks again.